So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, if you have recovered from that first game, to the pinnacle of the Emerging States tournament, where South Australian Black Falcons will take on the Northern Territory Mosquitoes. I'm joined again by Greg Tobin.
Yes, correct.
There we go. Been calling you Ben Tobin all morning, but welcome back.
Thanks
Greg.
for having me.
Did you get to see any of that first one?
Oh, parts of the second half there.
It's an incredible game. Absolutely incredible game. We are expecting probably a different type of rugby today. This is the one that really, after Friday night, we all went, oh, here we go. This is the one we're all getting ready for now.
Yeah, it's going to be something very different for both teams. I think they haven't really had the games have been physical, but it hasn't been very close score-wise. So this one really here should be hopefully a tight and very exciting match for everyone tuned into the stream. Yeah,
well, lovely to have you with us, and please share this out and let's make sure as many people as possible can see it. I do know that there was somebody in, I don't know where they were, but there was a Year 9 teacher somewhere who had it on in the background while his kids were studying the last one, so hopefully they get to watch this one. This should be an absolute belter. There are some changes from yesterday for the Tasmanian side. One notable start is Nathan Satala in the number 12 shirt, and Ballet is on the bench. Yeah. So he'll come on and be an impact, you would think. Mulholland still at fullback, but we are underway. Campion is underneath it, and we'll take the first bite of the cherry. Galloway will find Groves. Down in this near side and into the channel, so Walton will have his first shot at it. He had a day off yesterday. Halfback combination of Galloway and Plummer today. Groves again. Plummer with first hands on the ball, out to Stanojevic. Met all behind the gain line. It's been a trait of this Northern Territory side, how quickly they get off. Plummer! Intercept! Early score for Northern Territory.
Yeah, that's Robbie Butcher, easily identified by his square-shaped head. Great try for that. He's known to take a cheeky intercept up in the territory, and first points on the board.
So Butcher just lurking with intent. Easiest try heel scorer of this tournament, you would think. Played very, very well. Butcher came on late. Well, sorry, came on very early in the game yesterday. Played nearly 3/4 of it, so backing up after 2 days.
Yeah, came down with an injury to Zach Phillips in that game, so it was an unplanned substitution, and hopefully Zach's hammies come good in the warm-up and can come back on in this game.
Not the start that South Australia will have wanted. Definitely the start that the Mosquitoes would have wanted.
Yeah. What's that? What's your catchphrase again?
Oh, the coach killer. In fairness, it's not mine. It's Alex Rockaborough if he's watching. And Butcher will knock that one over, and 7 points to nil. Very, very early on. Under 2 minutes and 7 points gone. As soon as he let it go, you could almost hear Joel Plummer's heart break.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a horrible sight, isn't it?
Yeah, Joel.
He's another Territory boy.
He has played for Alice Springs and for the Mosquitoes in the 7-a-side format. Oh, might even be 15s as well.
Butcher will clear, bounces high, and Walton will pick it up. Has Meredith, but decides he'll just try and settle it down. Support is there. Galloway will hit Dawes. Dawes will carry it over the gain line. Now they will look to this near side with Walton. Short ball to Groves. They are taking small bites over the gain line, the Falcons. Plummer to Marshall. Plummer again. Showed inside, brought down in just inside his own half. Penalty.
Good first touch there from Suss.
Not out, and Coates will give it to Meredith. Meredith will try and send it back. Little bit of soccer footwork to bring it under control. Actually worked quite well, got himself in front of his support players.
Yeah, that's old Drewy Sheeran. Using his boot there. Young Toddy's sliding into halfback.
Darwin will look to build again. Butcher, send it out to this near side. Little bit of a show and go. Showed it on the inside, and Satala will look for space, and Satala will go. And Satala will knock it on. That will please the South Australian crowd. Little bit of afters. There is a lot in this. There is, if you listen to and then found himself available for Northern Territory, so you know that there's going to be a little bit of feeling in this one.
Yeah. Gee, the crowd would have loved a knock on over the line from Sus.
In front of the South Australian crowd down there.
Benjamin.
A couple of minutes into this game. So we're going to set a standard now, okay? We're going to go back to the scrum for the knock-on. Take this moment, have a chat to the team, okay? We don't want any more coming in, all right? Any questions? Let's go. Thanks.
The young referee, and I spoke to Jamie McGregor before we started the first game. They are aware of the Satala issue.
Yeah.
They are aware that Nathan maybe, there's a flag out as well. I think our AR may have caught something. But there is a feeling there, and it's going to be there for most of the day.
Yeah, I think for the NT it's just another game of rep rugby. So,
did he hit him or did he just push? I just saw him shove him.
There was actually a hand to the face. You were backwards to it. Yeah, it's up to you.
So you're saying there's a hand to the face from
orange.
Yep.
10.
Yep.
To black. As it got up, and that's when they've moved in.
Yep.
From black.
Okay, we'll just stick with the scrum, I think, and we'll just keep an eye on it.
So they are going to keep an eye on it. Mr. Butcher getting involved. I think everyone wanted a little bit of that. The adrenaline will be up. This, like we've said, this was coming from Friday night. Both teams will have looked at this and gone, that's our stamp.
Benjamin Parks, the second rower that looks like an emu for the Mosquitoes. He hasn't played a single rep game without copping a punch to the face. So
just a punchable face.
So let's see if he keeps that record intact.
It's not a record you would want to have, is it, really?
No, but it still follows him around, so we'll see. Hopefully not.
So Dawes, Sembrook and Stanojevic at the front row for South Australia, taking on the absolutely awesome front row of the Mosquitoes. Marshall will look to try and get it free. They have settled it down. Box kick from Galloway.
Finds Watson, the rock star. Hits Mulholland on a great pass. Off to Sivu.
So Sivu is at 13 and he's managed to offload as well. There's a big tackle in midfield. And this is set off like at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And Timmy Mattin, who had a chat with me before the game. He's not old, he's experienced. He's not old. I think he's younger than me, actually. But he made his debut for the Black Falcons in 1999 when he was 18, and he's still going now.
Oh, that's good.
Coming up to 20 years of rep rugby. It's an impressive stat for that young man.
What position is he playing?
He's playing on the back row at the moment. I don't know whether he's in 7 or 6 at the moment, but very good back rower from the Port Adelaide Rugby Club.
He's doing well after 20 years to not be playing prop.
He has managed to keep his position. Marshall off the Walton off the top, dropped by Plummer. They'll let him know again. You can just hear the chat as well. These players are up for it.
Yeah, I think Coach Joe Albert from the Mosquitoes has been really happy with the communication on the boys on the field. It's part of what's brought them such success this tournament.
Still only the 7 points on the scoreboard at the moment.
Hold there, Steve, hold there. Set.
Butcher puts the ball on the foot, turns Fleetwood Piper around. He will manage to get it and send it back into Meredith. Meredith is a little bit on his own, but beats the first 2 tackles and allows his support to get back to him. It does eventually.
Wait here.
McKinley back into the pocket. Lets it go with that left foot of his, and they will find themselves out of danger.
A nice kick there. Good exit.
South Australia obviously done their homework and worked out that the Northern Territory do like to go quickly. The numbers are all over the place. God knows how many are actually in that. Campion nearly got a hand to it, but it does find its way to Phillips, to Butcher, then to Satala. Satala will step back inside. Counter ruck comes from South Australia. Almost hands on again. Groves will come right through the middle, but you've got to leave the half back. It's those little snap decisions.
Yeah, he saw the temptation there and dropped his discipline there a bit.
It's a hard one, because he was allowed to come right through the middle.
I thought it was from the side, to be honest.
So into the 22, the Northern Territory. The gentleman coming off, he's taking a knee, but he's not going to stop. It's not going to stop for him down there. He's going to have to come off. This young man, I think he copped an eye in the first game, and he's had to deal with it on every single one.
Yeah, that's Honeybill Murfitt, the outstanding captain of the Mosquitoes. He's had a great season up in the NT's first season there. He won the Eric Johnson medal, which is the overall best and fairest for the competition. And I know his lovely wife's come down to support him on this tour from Darwin as well, so shout out to Ayla.
His worst weekends to spend away. I mean, beautiful country down here.
Yeah, the boys have been enjoying the cold, and
I love it you think it's cold. This has been the warmest day we've had for a long time.
Yeah.
So Northern Territory with the lineup. Butcher to Satala, to short ball to Sivu. He will cross into the 22.
There goes Denzel.
Out the back to Mulholland. Now they have numbers. They will go over the top. They will go, and Watson looks like he's going to get there. No signal yet.
The Fijian Michael Jackson over in the corner.
It's not a bad finish from Watson.
Great try there. He told me before the game that he wants to send a shout out to his mum and dad in Fiji over in Nasola. So hope you're enjoying the stream, guys.
So Mulholland with the floated ball over the top. Watson had a heck of a lot of work to do. It's a good finish. Had two defenders coming across.
Certainly will feel that tackle.
We got both of them coming across, and it's an incredible finish from where he was. So the opening 12 minutes of this one has not disappointed in any way, shape or form. Butcher will look to add on the extras from far out on the left-hand flank. Oh, he didn't get a hold of that at all. I think he kicked the tee. Have another look at that. It's a very, very good finish from Watson. Galloway will drive it deep. And the back to Butcher. Butcher has to drive it through the middle. Walton will pick it up and send it to Meredith. Meredith will find Kurtzer. Kurtzer will step. Tries to get through the middle of two.
Oh, he's isolated.
A little bit isolated, but the support got there just in time.
No.
Galloway to Dawes. Dawes will just try and shake through the first tackle. Galloway now looks to snipe. Good clean out from Plummer. Meredith to Groves. Groves with a 2-on-1 decides to take on Watson. Watson will get enough of him.
First movement down, mate.
Sealing off. Now this could be kickable. See whether they want to take the points or whether they want to push down and with the left boot like McKinley has got.
Great continuity from SA there. And how's the pass on the second rower? It's about a 25-metre pass in from the wing there.
Well, Callum Walton, friend of the show, he did the commentary yesterday. He grew up playing as a fullback and a 10.
That explains it.
He is a back in a forward's body.
Yep.
How about the kick though from McKinley right onto the 5? See whether there's a driving maul here. Walton will rise. They set up for it. Northern Territory have done very well, but Mattin will roll off the back of it into midfield. There are numbers left if they can go quick. Out to Bartlett. Bartlett gets stood up somewhat, but now he will straighten. Sivu will make the tackle. Galloway again will look. Looks to snipe again and it's lost it forward. What can the Territory do on the turnover? Heard a call a rumble. They're probably just going to try and give them a little bit of extra space, but just getting rid of it will do.
Great scramble there from the NT.
Just a shout out to our assistant referees. Unfortunately, I don't know the name of the man in the middle, unfortunately, but Alistair Walton on this near side, the father of Callum Walton, and over on the far side, a legend of South Australian rugby, Jimmy Jones. Messy, but they get it. Into Plummer. Out to Meredith. To Fleetwood Piper. He will take on Watson. Watson again, with the assistance of Sivu, will get there. Short ball to Groves. Mulholland does well to hold on to the ankle of Groves. Out to Walton, numbers left, straightened from Campion. The numbers are still there if they can get it out quickly. Plummer, he will find a gap, inside ball to Marshall. South Australia get on the board. Just knocked on the door for long enough, you would think.
Yeah, great support play there from South Australia. Well done.
Incredible work from South Australia, and finally they will get something on the board. Finally they got a reward for how much time they'd spent in the Northern Territory half. So Meredith will take the kicking duties.
That's what I think, Mitchies.
What are we, like 16 minutes in, so the first sort of quarter of this game, nearly. Certainly the Northern Territory, the points will go over and it'll be 12 points to 7. Certainly the start that Northern Territory would have wanted, and South Australia are going to have to come from behind.
Yeah, well, it's early days.
Still a heck of a lot of rugby to be played. It's a really interesting matchup, this Fleetwood Piper versus Watson matchup down on this near side.
Oh, yeah.
It's certainly one we really want to watch. And over on the other side, the two wingers, it's almost like for like on both sides. You've got your powerful wingers on this one and the more speedy ones over on the far side. Excellent restart from Butcher. Campion will lose it forward. That's not what you want.
Yeah, bit of a mistake there. I think, yeah, keep an eye on Watson on the wing. There'll be more fireworks than Territory Day.
Territory Day sounds like something I want to be involved in.
Yeah. One day a year, fireworks are legal. Pure carnage.
So another chance, and that's gone very, very early, and I think they were a bit over-eager. The formidable front row. They're not back 10 either. Got away with it. Galloway to Dawes, to Fleetwood Piper. Fleetwood Piper versus Watson will renew acquaintances. Plummer to Watson, inside ball to Groves. He is met very, very strongly at the line. Marshall again to Sambrook. Sambrook will run through the first tackle, gets over to halfway. Plummer had to reach for it. Great hands from Walton. Meredith had to go get it though. Galloway, Plummer, Stanojevic. Galloway will have a little snipe again. Oh, not releasing.
Great turnover there from Drew
Oh, and
Sheeran.
now they've gone quick. Oh, just knocked that one on, and now they will turn it over. Campion will fly Fleetwood Piper. Fleetwood Piper against Watson again. Plummer through the dummy. Groves took the hit like the man he's supposed to. Campion again. Galloway to Walton. Walton will straighten. Penalty and time off. There is a flag out on this near side.
Might have word with NT14. That last tackle, you went straight in above the shoulder and went round the neck, and then they did a roll neck.
Penalty only here. Yeah. 14. Yeah.
So 14 orange. It's going to be a big battle between them two, and I think the last one just slipped over the shoulders a little bit. Nothing malicious, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know, I guess. That's how he saw it.
We just had a touchy report for a high tackle. Right, from 14, so the penalty is going to be against you for that back here, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that because the player was low as well?
No, you just took him around. Thank you.
It's a tough one. Like I said, I don't think there's any malice in it, but it's just going to be a big battle between them two. I don't think Kyle Fleetwood Piper really is concerned by it, but
He probably didn't even feel it.
no. But it's difficult if you can't give penalties away within the half, because McKinley will push you back towards your own line with that left boot of his. You've got to be on your best behaviour.
Yeah. I think as long as they're consistent with those kinds of calls, there's been a few things let go so far this tournament that was one of the lesser high tackles I've seen.
Back to Butcher, he had to go reaching for it. And great clearance though. So there'll be a line out almost directly underneath us. We get to have a look at it. It will be a South Australian line-out. Sambrook will look to renew his club partnership with Walton, and Marshall is there as well. He'll go to Campion at the front. His lifters left him alone, but gets down there. Stanojevic has Groves with him. Oh, massive hit from Murphy. Walton. Showed and Goad managed to get to ground. Sambrook, he will show and straighten. Big tackle, massive challenge in midfield, causing the ball to be kicked away. Butcher will send it down. It's a foot race. Meredith might get there first, does get there first, just puts it on the boot to get rid of it out there.
Great tackle there from Josh Phillips. He's been awesome this competition for the Mosquitoes. Defensively, he's put on several big hits and really used his low centre of gravity to attack that ruck. So
gigantic hit from oh, and again the lifters have just left these jumpers alone. Butcher again has to go looking for it, out to Satala. Satala met by Plummer and Groves. That's a Brighton committee. Managed to fight and get his knee to ground. Into the near side. On the bounce, but he's managed to pick it up. There's a boot gone flying.
yeah,
Stanojevic. And out the back to Butcher, to Satala. Satala will pull it back to Mulholland. He'll drop it back inside. Murphy will run just nice and straight.
there's Eric, the forklift driver.
It's come out though to Martin.
Knock on.
Knocked on.
Changeover was fine. He lost it forward. Hey, Falcons, good shit. These guys are walking, hey?
Gee, if the boys aren't sore now, they'll be sore after this game.
So go and fill a swimming pool. We'll find you a swimming pool. They can all go and get in it. Tim Dawes is just down on his haunches. It looks like a shoulder, but it's now, we're seeing all, now it's just a battle of attrition right now. They're just, big boys are lining up and trying to hit each other.
Yeah, I think a tighter game. Fatigue's coming in a lot more, and for both sides here, it's the ruck speed's starting to slow down a little bit, but yeah, it's one hell of a match.
So there is going to be a change. Dawes will come off and France will come on. It's not a great look the way he's holding that right arm of his. That would suggest that there's a shoulder. Either he's got a stinger or it's come out.
Yeah, I don't think they'd pull him off if it was a stinger. Oh, is that the stalwart coming off? Number 7?
No, number 23 he's got on. That's number 1, Timmy Dawes. Number 23, Timmy Matt is wearing on the near side of this scrum. So
yep.
I think he might be playing on the blind side, or they're playing left and right. I don't know. Just lost the footing, so we'll reset that one. It's a massive challenge for this South Australian front row. Stanojevic, Sambrook and France now.
Just keep your bind up, yeah?
Yeah, I was talking to Chris Whitty, the prop for Mosquitoes. He was saying that he's just so toey to get out there and compete against a good front row there.
Gone down again, so they're not going to get the shove on, but they will come to Butcher on this near side. Then it will go to Watson. Watson will push away from Fleetwood Piper, and Watson will go over again. Watson will score and push the lead out for Northern Territory.
That's why they call him the rock star.
Just chalk one up. We've seen a couple of one-on-one battles for Watson, and he definitely won that one. Fleetwood Piper wouldn't want to see that one again. Got himself in a decent position, but the don't argue from Watson. And the step inside and the finish, no doubt about that one.
Gee, he's lightning, isn't he?
Hey, on the 5, yeah.
And again, you can't underestimate that we're yet to see a ballet.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
They're tight end. He can't get as low as we are.
Yeah.
So he's sort of angling down and that's why our bloke's constantly going down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Righto.
Someone just.
We'll have a look. Yeah, I'll try and get it. Yeah.
And
So
if there's anything
he needs to keep his bind up still. Yeah, that's what I'm after.
That's Josh Phillips, experienced front rower, talking to the ref there. he's a known talker amongst the boys, and he's actually contracted to the Parramatta Eels.
Oh, well done. Just got a score check for you soon. 3 tries, 1 conversion, 17 points to 7. A good finish by Watson. There's certainly a lot of Northern Territory people watching. Good to have you with us. So the Northern Territory now just looking to settle into a rhythm. Butcher to Satala. Satala will take on Plummer. Offload to Butcher, he'll just put it on the boot. Does very, very well. An awkward one for Meredith, but he finally gets it. And fires it to Fleetwood Piper. Beats the first one and the second, and Watson will get him. Galloway, Campion kind of took it off the fingers of Plummer. Out to Marshall, shows inside, and then he will try and get himself going. Big rangy runner, Blair Marshall. Plummer out to McKinley, had to step inside as he got man and ball. And another knock on at the breakdown. These are the things that South Australia would almost want half time to come so they can just work out what's going on around the breakdown.
Yeah, a lot of 50-50s going to the Territory.
And a change then. as Abele will come on.
Toddy McManus coming off to the bench. He's had a great first tour with the Mosquitoes.
So Abele will go out onto that far wing, so you've now got power on 2 wings. It's a fair old test for Kurtzer. Butcher will put it on the boot. A wobbly old kick, but again finds good space. Will push Fleetwood Piper down into his 5. He will send it to Meredith. Meredith will, with a rush kick, just send it straight back to Murfitt. Mulholland kind of overran him, but Murfitt didn't mind. He'll just put his head down and find his way into the 22. Slow ball. Look to rebuild. Marshall will turn it over. South Australia will look for a better exit. Bartlett is caught. Manages to get another couple of yards. France. Again, we see the line speed of the Northern Territory as they make that tackle behind the gain line. Walton fires it out to McKinley, who lost it. Then it will get to Kurtzer. Kurtzer looked to kick it and is hit just as he tried. And then knocked on by Abele. A little bit shaky from South Australia.
Yeah, a couple passes not hitting the mark.
Was there a knock on by Black first, or did he kick it?
So a couple of changes for the Black Falcons. Andrew Scott is going to come on. So is Terry Coe.
Black first. Was there a knock on from Black? Yep, okay. Yep.
Coe is going to take Plummer off. So Coe is going to go into 12. McKinley is going to go into 10. Groves is going to be replaced by Andrew Scott. That is an interesting tactical decision. We haven't seen McKinley in the 10 spot.
Bind. Hold, play, hold. Set. Hold there, Steve. Hold. 7 now, Kieran. Hold.
Butcher will find Satala. Satala will pull it back to Abele. Abele will straighten and Coe will get him. That's probably why they brought Coe on. If you're going to bring your big meat on, we'll bring ours on. Asking for the knock on, nothing there. Satala versus Meredith. Beats Meredith the first time, but then Meredith will get him. Mulholland will step into halfback.
Strong run from Tane.
Into midfield again, and Mattin was there but couldn't survive. Oh, Meredith's shot, and that gave Butcher the space, and Butcher will go over and he'll score under the posts. Excellent awareness from Butcher. He saw Meredith go, knew the space would be there. Northern Territory 22, South Australia 7.
Yeah.
Getting close to half time, 8 minutes plus stoppages to go. We see that again. Meredith was looking for the intercept and he thought it was going to be there, and Butcher identified that that's where the gap would be.
Yeah, he's got good pace, Robbie Butcher, and he finds space on the outside of people all the time.
Finished like a long jumper.
In the sand. Yeah.
Got a fair amount of splash. That one will go over, 24 points to 7. Not too dissimilar to the scoreline we saw at the NRC game on Saturday afternoon. And obviously Brisbane City managed to turn that one around. Certainly there'll be some people wearing South Australian colours. We'll hope that that's repeated today.
Yeah, plenty of time to go. Another 7 or so minutes this first half.
Galloway will drive it into the 22. Marshall will make the first tackle. Stanojevic will just make it messy with a counter ruck.
Back. Coming in and playing the player.
I'm just trying to listen for a decision as to what the penalty was for. I think as Stanojevic came through and counter-rucked and then tried to get back, he wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, playing the player.
So McKinley will push them into the corner again. The last driving maul that South Australia tried to set up, the Northern Territory dealt with very well and just pushed them sideways.
Yeah, they are in the danger zone here, so we'll see if they can scramble again.
Just waiting for a ball to come back.
No.
A little bit better with forward momentum. The Northern Territory have just come right through the middle and disrupted it, so Martin has to go again. Manages to get to ground. Galloway will find McKinley. McKinley has Coe. Coe will show, then straighten. Tries to get his hands free. Numbers left. Then they will go. Sambrook to Barlow, loses it, and a belly will pick it off. McKinley can't get a belly for the first one. Can Coates take him down? Coates is going to get there. Coates gets him, and McKinley will come and finish it. You would be surprised if there's no penalties and it's turned over by Galloway.
Great scramble.
Finally he can slow down. Coates is showing his toe. Couple of pick and goes. I think the backs would be happy with that right now. That's a good counter ruck as well. Came right through the middle. Disrupted the lot. Not releasing. Penalty bang in front. Probably 30 metres out. Bang in front. Shadow of half time.
Yeah, Benjamin Parks, the Emu, redeemed himself there.
Yep.
Well, they've decided they want to go for the sideline. So we'll see whether the Mosquitoes have got anything. The two chances that South Australia have had for a driving maul, the Northern Territory have disrupted both of them.
Yeah, Eric Erickson will be loving that footage. He's a very experienced prop. He's played for the Philippines national team as well.
Wait. 17.
Oh, and Campion will steal it. So honours even in the dangerous line-out competition, and Galloway will clear. Campion appears to have worked out what's happening with the Northern Territory jumpers. There's just little challenges through the day that we haven't had to deal with through the weekend. Off the top, messy but sorted out. Martin will make a tackle. Going to come back the Northern Territory way. Another little snipe.
There's Erickson, good meters.
Butcher holds the ball. And again lost forward. So we are scrum just on about 5 metres.
Yeah, come on, we're ready. Get on with it. Let's go.
Take two.
Let's go, boys.
So South Australia will have a scrum. McKinley is sat back in the pocket.
Bind. Set.
Depends on how much pressure the Northern Territory can put on this scrum, and they put a heap on. So Blair Marshall will look to go. And it's stolen. Butcher has stolen it. Knock on though. Butcher has been very, very impressive in the opening, well, the opening half now, essentially.
Yeah, nice steal there. From very lucky to get a knock on, South Australia. But the urgency was there from the defenders really, you know, late in the first half. That's what you want to see.
South Australia have been living in their own 22 for the past 5 minutes. They'll want to get out of there. And again, the Northern Territory, the scrum pressure that the Northern Territory can get on is impressive.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Look at that.
That is massive pressure from the Territory, and they get the penalty. And they're going to go scrum again. And I don't mind that. You go from penalty and a scrum, we'll have another one.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure the props will be calling for a pushover scrum here.
Well, we haven't seen one yet this weekend. We don't see many on Spacequake Sports. We've only seen one. South Australia have done well to hold solid. Butcher looked like he didn't really want that. Runs across. Might be stolen. He's managed to keep hold of it. Watson has come all the way across to get it. He's lost it, so Marshall will put it on the boot. Bounce will bring its way towards halfway. Well, Marshall leading by example. Don't want to play rugby under the shadow of my own posts anymore.
Yeah, I think a bit of sevens rugby being played there from the Mozzies.
All looked a bit scrappy.
Yeah.
Again over the back, but this one is going to be picked up by Mattin. He will get into the Northern Territory half. Out to Campion. Campion will just duck his head, make another couple of yards. Advantage. Walton will find France, and France will find half a gap. Roll towards the 10. Out to McKinley. McKinley will straighten, gets his way through the first one, brought down eventually by Sivu and Butcher. Another advantage. Walton again. Walton will put it on the boot, and it will bounce out. I think he was happier with the penalty.
13. Yes, it's half time.
So half time, so they'll have the line out, and the line out will be it.
Yeah, player down from the Mozzies.
Not sure who it is. Sivu and is it Butcher? Because Butcher was also involved in that tackle. I'm just looking around, I can't see him. It is Butcher. There's a big collision between the three of them, really.
13. I just say, mate. Yep. Yep.
So McKinley will look to push them down into the corner. And he will. That's not a bad leg on a day like today. They have got away with it a couple of times. I heard it mentioned at the last lineup. They almost have two halfbacks. South Australia. Have a look at the next one.
Yeah, I heard Mozzies players complaining about it.
Now they have got the maul going forward. Into the 5. It's come down. It's only ever going to go down because it gets pulled down.
3. Collapsing. Yeah.
They will always have time for the lineup, but just keep an eye on it. Tim Mattin is not in the line out, and then you've got the 9 stood 2 meters behind him.
Yeah, what's going on there?
They're getting away with it though. Mattin edging ever closer to that line. Shouts of down. Try scored. Right on half-time. Will make 10 points of difference. Tim Mattin made his debut as an 18-year-old back in 1999. Almost 20 years later, he scores a try for South Australia right on half-time.
Lovely work, eh? Sorry, so what was that?
Last penalty for?
Which one? Oh, the penalty that we just did. You got? Yeah. 3 had just come in and collapsed them all.
How long is it?
That's time.
When you see that driving ball go forwards and then it goes down, there's only really one way that that's happened.
Yeah.
This is a big kick for Meredith. Rolled around, I think, Timmy Martin, and managed to get that grounding. Good looking kick off the boot. Just pushed across the front. So 24 points to 12. As we go into half time. We will step out for a short break. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back with you. Hope you're enjoying the final game of the Emerging States 2018. Brought to you by Rugby Union Australia and powered by Space Quake Sports. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final 40 minutes plus change of the 2018 Emerging States competition. This one is for the trophy. The trophy is down there. The winner of this one will take home the silverware. Well, the goldware it is down there, the little gold trophy.
That's very generous.
Well, yeah. Just having a look and seeing whether there's any changes. There has been a change at full-back. You seeing Peter Bullower is back there. McKinley is still out. Koe is still out. Bartlett is still out. Just looking to see who will come off. Kurtzer and Fleetwood Piper is still out there. Who have they taken off then? Sean Meredith is on the sideline. Also, Timmy Matten is also on the sideline. So that's the introduction of Jason Hyam. And there is Fraser Morrison has also made his way onto the park. So some changes at half time for the Black Falcons. Logan Brown out there as well. So almost wholesale changes. You can try and pick up any Northern Territory changes for me.
Yeah, no, I can pick out. No fresh ones anyway.
I don't think there is any fresh ones. It's pretty much the team that finished that first half. So Galloway will restart. And managed to get a head of steam up and run through the first one. Another boot goes flying. Stolen by Koe. Galloway has to dig for it. Marshall to Campion, quick hands. Bounces its way to Pitter. A dangerous runner. Out to Fleetwood Piper, who'll step back inside. I think there'll be a Northern Territory player searching for that boot. It's sat around halfway.
Yeah, it's the second time SA's done that. I think a few mothers watching the stream will be disappointed in this.
It's not
for their sons.
It's not overly sporting, is it? He's got to go for a little jog to go and get it. I'm sure they'll just be saying that they're just getting out of the way.
Yeah. Removing the odour.
That's right.
I don't think the referee's picked up that that's what's happening when these boots come off.
Yeah, he doesn't need to know about that, does he? I don't think it's in the rule book anyway.
I'm not sure it's in the spirit of the game either, to be perfectly honest. So the Territory are going to wander in again.
Stay 9.
Go on to the back. Butcher again will drop it off inside, and McKinley will make a good offensive tackle, but then just fell off it.
Big contact there from Tane.
Shows what he can do with two boots on his feet. Out the back to Butcher. Butcher will float it over the top.
Finds Milky on the wiggle.
Oh, that's just a little bit of a handling error.
Both ways.
And it all got very, very messy.
First knock on.
It'll be a South Australian scrum over on that far side. Was he a little bit shocked, a little bit out of his depth, finding himself out there on the wing?
No, I think that's the structure that the Mozzies are playing out there. Although even when that's not the structure, he does seagull out there a little bit. Old Milky.
Ah, with the inside knowledge. So a different look to the pack for the Falcons, and that looked a better scrum. That's going to bounce to Bullower. Has to go back and get it, Pitter. There's a wall of Territorians in front of him.
Great low tackle from Civil.
And it will go to Kurtzer. He's 2-on-1 and not much going on. Manages to get the offload to Smith. Sorry, Scott. Andrew Scott will find his way across the 10. And Galloway will find France. Fleetwood Piper, and again they've put a wing at 3-on-1, and Watson will charge it down. that's twice in the space of a couple of minutes where the Black Falcons have given the ball to Owinga with 3 defenders in front of him.
Yeah. Quick line out from Parksy. Finds Nabuka. Through a gap.
Oh, just off the feet.
No, there's a knock on there.
One thing I must say is it's calmed down since the initial fiery debate we had in the first couple of minutes.
Yeah, maybe the captains just took their players aside and sorted them out. I know Honeybill Murfitt certainly would have.
So South Australian scrum, we're just trying to look at it. It's a front row of Hyam, Brown and France. The latest 3 to take on the terrible threesome from the Northern Territory. Koe will drop it back inside to Bartlett. Bartlett is hit but not held. Manages to make some extra yardage. Galloway to Walton. Walton will send it to Brown and Brown will just lose it. I think again he just spent it before he had it. Had his eyes up on what was the defensive line was doing.
Yeah, there was space out there.
I don't know which Northern Territory player that was, but
That's the distinctive voice of Milky there.
Milky said he saw the massive rig coming, which is hard to argue with.
I told you he's a talker.
Good solid scrum again. Butcher to Satala. He'll pull it out the back to Watson. Watson will send it to Mulholland and he left it behind. Saw the massive rig of Tristan Kurtzer coming.
Yeah, handling error.
Fortunately, you've got a bigger coaching staff than the under-21s have. You can afford to kill a couple of them. Made the transition to prop this year, Jason Hyam. He has gone back row, second row prop.
All right. The natural progression.
Nice, Jacob. Nice, Jacob. Bind. Set.
It's a luxury that the Salad Eaters don't have. Blair Marshall will look to try and find a little bit of a gap. Callaway will hit Walton. Walton will straighten and just try and resettle him. Out to McKinley, to Koe. Koe is tripped up. Galloway to Pitter, and Pitter will put it on the boot. How's the bounce for Pitter? It's going to find the hands of Fleetwood Piper. Mulholland did very, very well, just as it found the hand of Fleetwood Piper to get something on him. There is a Mosquito slow to get up, though.
Yeah, great scramble from Reese there.
And just have a look at the replay. It bounced well for Fleetwood Piper, and Mulholland just about got him. I think that's Watson who's slow to get up. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
Let's go the ball, mate.
Nice to see he's gone with the blue dancing shoes as well.
Yeah. Oh, he's an absolute character. He's always having a laugh or a little joke and prank with the boys.
Yep.
This morning he was referring to himself as the Mini Hulk.
The Mini Hulk.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, guarantee yourself a bit of screen time if you do things like that.
Fraser come. Get tight, Blair. Let come. Bind. Set.
Well, there was, you have to say there's been a change to that South Australian scrum with the change of the front row at half time. Probably the first time in the weekend that the Northern Territory have gone backwards, but here goes Watson. The Mini Hulk will step inside and get the offload away. Picked up off his bootlaces, but forward.
Fantastic hands from halfback Ryan McMurray. I guess the one thing to his advantage is that he's so low to the ground that he can take those balls at his feet.
You just come up here to throw all your players under the bus.
That's my duty.
So still 24 points to 12 as we near 50 minutes of this one, but there's been some stoppages in this second half, so there will probably be a little bit extra going on. Another solid scrum from South Australia. McKinley decides to just attack the line and gets the offload to Bartlett. Had a couple of goes at it, but gets it eventually. Fleetwood Piper will pick and go. All the South Australians decide they want to come to this near side. There will be a penalty and Galloway will go. Find his way into the 22. Look for the offload. Gets an offload to Brown. Brown will rumble forward towards the 5-meter line. Galloway put it on the boot and there was nothing there. I'm not sure whether he was angry at the referee or himself. Territory will look to just try and give themselves a couple of meters to try and get rid of this one. Butcher now will go back in the pocket. And he will get rid of it.
I think that little grubber through is certainly going to get pulled up in the fine session.
I would think so, and then the reaction afterwards, I think, probably. Looks like Denzel is going to bring himself back into the game.
Yeah, good friends with Will Smith, aka Shawnee Walker.
Brown will have to tidy it up. Groves will pick and go. Coates picked it and went. Got a face full of Murphy for his troubles. McKinley looked for a little bit of a gap. Coming back though for a penalty.
Time off here. Come here for a sec, Captain. Slow it down a bit, we had a bit of a chat about it before the game, and you said only messages coming through. We've had a lot of chat from your team. Have a word now, no more, okay? Yep. Yeah. Thank you.
Had a fair point though, you are.
No. Talk to him, I'm out.
It's an interesting one. The referee spoke to him before the game and said, all communication comes from you. And he said, well, they had a fair point.
Yeah. Yeah. Cheeky.
The king of all collegians, Jack Campion. Self-appointed king. Now there is no Timmy Mattin, he's off the ground, so having to play with Groves has gone into that half-back spot, and then he will pull off and he will look for a better spot, gets ahead of steam up. Excellent challenge in halfway. Satala gets hands on, but not enough. Koei held up a little bit, has to go. Advantage is on. Walton. Big show, then he will try and wriggle through a gap. Galloway finds Brown. Brown short ball to Koei. Koei will just rumble forwards into the shadow of the goalpost. Brown will look around the corner. Brown will go around the corner and Brown will score. First blood in the second half to South Australia.
Sorry, buddy.
Again, just knocking on the door, and eventually it has to open.
That's it.
What's going on, mate?
Retain pressure there, like possession, and we're just able to keep building the pressure.
And there, Rox. The primary supporter is coming straight in. His hands and his knees on the play on the ground. Is that not putting his weight? Not supporting his weight?
Mate, I'll manage it. I'll go have a look at that. Okay, I need you also, you guys, when you're in the tacklers, to make sure you're getting out, not rolling straight on the ball. Thanks, mate.
It's a better conversation than the one he had on Friday night. I don't know whether you managed to find that in the footage, and I've had time with Mr. Murphy just to explain. You're going to have to be able to actually talk if you want to talk to the referee. I think you got about 3 words out on Friday night.
Yeah, 1 word per breath.
It was close to that in that one, but he finally got his point across. So 17 points to 24 with the kick to come. Kurtzer will take over the kicking duties. And he just pushed that to the right-hand side. So 17 points to 24. 7 points the difference. Talk about players who are difficult to stop from 2 meters out. Logan Brown is one of them. He's another one who's been playing with the Black Falcons for probably close to 20 years.
Gee, that's a long stint.
Still playing A-grade rugby at Brighton.
Yeah, mate, you're right.
What a kick off.
High hanging kick, and the Territory will win that one. Running sideways, will find Satala, and Satala will go, and he gets hit by Groves as he releases it. Slow ball. Counter ruck from Walton, and then he managed to just shut down the snipe. Butcher manages to deal with it and then gets a face full of Blair Marshall. Out to Sivu, has to get it on the bounce.
What an offload.
Oh, massive offload inside to Abele. Been a completely different game in the start to this second half. Eriksson will go. Butcher, Satala.
Space out wide.
Mulholland. One more. He will step back inside. Another good offload. Mulholland will take over the reins. Held up. Butcher again. Into Denzel. Out the back to Butcher. Butcher will fire it over the top to Sivu. Sivu will look to try and get around. Huge hit from Koe. Managed to get the offload again. And a penalty. Defensively about as good as it gets for South Australia. And there's a Mosquito slow to get up. Oh, there's a fair bit of claret on his face.
Yeah, Joshy Phillips down there.
These breakdowns have been a sight to behold through today.
Yeah, they were quick on that. How do I say there?
I don't think that's one that's going to be worked out with a little bit of Vaseline and tape either. I think he might find himself at a walk-in centre, getting some embroidery done on his face.
Yeah, we'll see if we have time before the flight. Might just be a couple of...
Oh, there you go. Couple of Panadol.
Yeah, a couple of Panadol and a
and
Band-Aid.
wear a hat.
Maybe Eric can stitch him up.
Yeah, you're right, yep.
He actually is a doctor. Apparently his
Oh, he
parents
can do it himself.
are devastated. I called him a forklift driver on the stream.
It's one heck of an education for a forklift driver. McKinley will send it down, and I don't think it has gone out. Oh, the bounce will take it out. Strut towards that young man, pretend you meant it. Take ownership of it. The bounce of a rugby ball that can kill you. And there are times where it'll be on your side. Walton has to come off the top. Groves has to clean it up, just puts his head down. Gets towards the 22. Galloway, McKinley. Out the back to Coe. Coe will fire it across to Pitter. Pitter will send it one more to Fleetwood Piper. Mulholland does very, very well to get across. Fleetwood Piper does equally well to stay in board. Then he will send it on to Coe. Inside the 5 metre line again. Penalty. Number of penalties that the Territory are giving away around 5 metres might start to play on the mind of the man in the middle. Pitter will send it.
Quick tap.
Thought about sending it and then went himself. Galloway to Walton. Walton will straighten. Out to McKinley. Wide ball to Coates. Coates will go over. Coates will score. Again, the Northern Territory just running out of numbers.
Yeah.
22 points to 24 with the kick to come. We are setting up for a grandstand finish all over again. And that is the signature finish of Tristan Coates. Dot it down, then dive. We've gone through the entire list of kickers, and Callum Walton is going to roll back the years and have a shot at goal.
I'm backing him in. Oh, he's coming off the left.
He is a big left footer, certainly got range. Sends it on its way, it's over the dot. He didn't even need to look, he was on his way back halfway. The front five union putting on an absolute show today. We are 24 points apiece. "20 minutes plus stoppages to go, or thereabouts.
Yeah, mate.
Another good high-hanging restart from Butcher. Territory got a hand to it, but Logan Brown had read it. Marshall to Groves. Walton to Brown. Out to Fleetwood Piper. Play on, Denzel will come away with it. Quick hands. Big hit by McKinley. Butcher tried to kick through, didn't work. French will fall on it. Walton, another left foot. How's the bounce? Take a bow, Mr. Walton. Ladies and gentlemen, someone add a 5 to the one he's already got on his shirt. There are times in games when leaders need to stand up and be counted. And Callum Walton certainly has put his hand up for this one today.
Great left foot torp into the corner there.
Messy ball, has to be cleaned up, is cleaned up. Abele is back in the pocket. Butcher just off centre, the box kick will come and it will be a South Australia line out inside the 22. And Walton is just down on a knee. I wonder whether he's opened up. He has picked up a knock on Friday night. I think he's okay with it though. Oh, he's missed everyone. Bounce of the rugby ball works, and Timmy Matton, who's come back into the fray, will pick that one up. Groves, inside ball to Marshall. McKinley, oh, left it behind. And it will give the Territory a chance to come away.
Costly error there for the SA.
Apparently I've done Logan Brown a disservice. He was 10 20 years ago, so he hasn't been playing for the Falcons for 20 years. Must just have had a really tough paper round. Out to Abele. Abele versus Koe. Koe nearly got him, but he's fell off, and now Abele will get a head of steam up and Coates will come across and get him. It's popped out the back. And the Northern Territory have relieved the pressure. Another little pick and drive. Just taking little by little the Northern Territory at the moment. Then out to Butcher. Flat ball to Sivu. He will just try and take on McKinley. Beats the first one. Can't beat Bartlett. Counter ruck from Hyam just to slow it down a bit. Nice hands from Watson. Butcher into the midfield. Good tackle again by Mattin. Butcher, I don't think was ready for it. Makes the best that he can out of it. Walton with the tackle. Short ball again. Good challenge by Koe. Oh, I don't know whether he's going to get away with that. Where is the ball? Penalty to the Falcons. I think the initial one where he tried to get back up with it.
Yeah.
Might have been the initial issue. Then it was just messy.
Bit of a structure breakdown there from the Mosquitoes. A lot of players isolated receiving the ball.
So McKinley will send it. Really get the distance he probably would have wanted. Just over the 10-metre line. Just keep an eye on this. Now that Mattin is back, we'll keep an eye on this line-out, see how many halfbacks they put into it. This time Galloway has kind of gone back to the 10. So accidental offside and it'll be a scrum.
Transfer, the ball's transferred back. Truck and trailer.
The man that had the ball.
Yeah, it's truck and trailer, yep.
Told you 3 times, Jack.
Can be hard to hear with the head guard on.
Well, that's all.
So give him the benefit of the doubt.
Sorry guys, we've got subs coming. Yep.
What's the truck and trailer, sir? So we can adjust the next one.
Yeah, no.
What's the truck and trailer?
There was no more, so
He didn't leave his hands, so I don't understand how it's a truck and trailer.
okay, we'll talk about it later.
It's not giving up. Like a dog with a bone.
Yeah. Eric Erickson coming off. Jack Rutherford replacing him.
Again, South Australia just welcoming him to the game. Well, Timmy Mattin thought about going quickly and was yelled at by Callum Walton to leave it alone. So they're going to look at, we saw this on, I think it was yesterday, they realised that just a little bit of communication, whether people are engaging or not. Inside the 22. To the back again. And Marshall will just shoot.
Yep.
Groves will go. Wide of the ruck.
Leave it 6.
Walton, short ball to Marshall. Marshall nearly gets through. Gets through a half gap. To Groves. Groves, who knows no other way, will go over. Just looked at a gap and went through it. You don't need to ask him twice. South Australia 29, Northern Territory 24 with the kick to come. Marshall made the half gap. And then it's just big and strong and through the middle from Groves.
He's a strong runner of the ball.
Certainly is, and I will tip my hat to him. He can lose his temper sometimes in high pressure situations. He's kept on to it today.
Well, he's pulled all his hair out, so.
Walton will stroke it again. Why hasn't he been kicking all weekend?
Another lovely nudge.
About 15.
Territory just went a little bit too high. Let's see whether South Australia have worked anything out with this kickoff, because it might not be down there, but up here the wind is blowing into our faces, and it's just causing that ball to hold up. And they've just allowed him to keep dropping it into that area. Walton does better. Groves, Koe with a little show and go. Groves will go again. He's got the taste for it now. Walton will send it to Marshall. Marshall will show, then straighten. He will get those legs of his going across halfway. Hyam is going to go. Hyam's going to put his foot down. Hyam has to get held up. Now the Falcons are streaming forward. Calling for it out left. Walton got man and ball a little bit. Still going, still in the Falcons' hands. They do still have numbers out to the left-hand side. Penalty. Sealing off.
Number 4.
Jason Hyam showing a fair amount of gas for a front rower.
Yeah, great support play there from SA.
$31 points to 24. 10 minutes to go, plus stoppages. Going to look to try and get that driving maul going again, but Territory again have managed to mess it around, but there's a penalty for the entry.
They're a little bit smarter than they're letting on, I think.
Scrum called, gentlemen.
So they've called a scrum.
Big scrum here, Jax. Do it, mate. Same again. Get safe. Work hard, concentrate.
Has been a marked improvement in that scrum in the second half for South Australia.
Yeah, they're going well. Last one was really well for SA.
Bind. Set.
Sink. Squeeze. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Play advantage.
So Ashenford has come into halfback. Inside ball to Piper. Ashenford. Stopped and went. Mattin will send it to Walton. He will just come back to the safety of the forwards.
Still playing advantage.
To Groves. Groves will look for a gap. Groves finds a gap. Groves will go over again. And South Australia push out to their biggest lead of the day. 36 points to 24. And South Australia are really showing that they're putting it together when it counts.
It's good stuff.
Watson a bit slow to get up again in midfield.
Jeez.
Probably the hardest kick that Walton will have.
Not yet.
Well, it's definitely the hardest kick he's had so far today.
Let's go for a sec, buddy.
Been very, very good so far.
I'm just worried it's all happening in the same area.
Okay, I understand, okay. I mean, I had a bit of a chat and I've already spoken to you about this, but if you're going to ask questions like that and you want to answer from me, just wait till the right time, okay? Because when there's scrums and stuff happening, so we'll talk into downtime like now, okay?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's not, I'm managing, okay? I'm managing trends, okay? So we'll just work with that.
Cool. Thank you.
Walton puts it on the way. And for the first time today, the flags stay down for Mr. Walton. So 10 points the difference. 12 points the difference. And Jack Groves has just started to really put his stamp on the game as well.
Yeah, a couple of really strong runs when it mattered too. Coming away with 2 tries.
So Butcher will restart. And that one doesn't make it, so it'll be a scrum midfield to South Australia. The wheels coming off a little bit in the very final stages of this competition for Northern Territory.
Yeah, 5 minutes to go.
So scrum in midfield. They have split. They have Pitter and Fleetwood Piper on the far side. Ball is out. Ashford has to make the tackle. The offload isn't going to go anywhere. Groves will kick it out to Pitter. He will just put it on the boot and hope for a bounce, but Mulholland will get it.
Great recovery from Mulholland there.
Just knocked on in the tackle.
Knock on. Yep.
Let's work here, Woody. I've got your back, bro. I've got your back, Woody. Everyone get that sync call. Let's go. Let's go, straight down again. Here we go. Booker. Ready? Booker. With a man bun. 10. Booker. I've got you, Fatty. Crouch. Hey, ready, Jacob? Ready.
Not 100% though.
So we think the score is 36 points to South Australia and 24 points to the Northern Territory, 12 points the difference. McKinley will just fire it into that half. That's come off Mulholland. So another line out to South Australia, and again they will go to the back, and Marshall does well. Not straight though. Lots of chat now. Just starting to get under the skin of the Mosquitoes somewhat.
Yeah, no worries.
Mosquitoes going with the line-out. They will go to the back, off the back, out to Butcher. Seaver will lose it. Did very, very well eventually to just try and get it under control. Coe was in attendance. Back to Mulholland. Mulholland will clear the lines, but it doesn't find touch. Fleetwood Piper will send it to Bullower, and the bounce beats Pitter.
Knock on, knock on.
Gave himself up. I think Denzel had every right to just go and smash him at that point.
Yeah,
It's only friendly.
It's not what Denzel's all about.
He had every right to, but certainly the coaching staff of the Falcons wouldn't have liked to see him just give himself up like that. So the Northern Territory will have a scrum inside their own half. Fairly decent blindside for Mulholland and Ballet to work with. Just going to reset that one. They never really settled on that one. 12 points the difference, 2 minutes and change.
So you just stay up, yeah? Yep.
And again, straight away. Pressure on. Stay again, let's go, Loss. Bit lower, Wes.
Crouch.
Let's say ready. Ready.
Come, Woody. Bind. Set.
On you, drive. On you.
Early drive and the Falcons will get it again. Ashenford will give it to McKinley. McKinley will just straighten, try and find a hole. Walton. Fired it to Groves. Groves almost got a belly. Coates will try and step back inside.
Advantage, no.
Abele and Groves just carrying on like. And out to Koe. Koe thought about it, then saw the Northern Territory defender and manages to get towards the 22. Ashenford again. Fires it at France. I was going to say he'd do very well to bring that one in. So another change for South Australia, and Sambrook has come back. France and Stojanovic will be the front row.
Ericsson's come back on for the NC there as well. I think Jack Rutherford tried to come on. It's obviously his cast not right.
Bind. Set.
They are going to come this side. Mulholland will then find Abele. Coates versus Abele. Abele wins the first one and gets the offload away. Knock on by Mattin. Took 3 Falcons to stop Abele, but that's something they've done all day. Ericsson. He's a little bit isolated, Murfitt. Does well though. Butcher. To Satala. Satala will have to step and then just lost his footing.
Play on, play on. No release. No.
Terry, leave. Come on, man. You were blowing that up.
No, hold.
Stanojevic will come out and meet him behind the gain line. Flat ball. Ericsson. Good yards after contact. Butler again. Ericsson again. Good offload to Murfitt. Mulholland will take the first receive. Run away from Sambrook and straight into Koe. Flat ball. Ericsson will go again.
He has 4 hit-ups in about 30 seconds.
Murfitt. Just held Denzel a little bit short. We are in red time. It's all in the hands of the referee now. You would think with 12 points the difference it'll be a monumental effort for the Northern Territory come back from this.
Seconds. Come on. Seconds.
Crouch.
Ready?
Bind.
Set.
Ashenford will put the ball in. Northern Territory do manage to put a bit of pressure on. McKinley will find Bartlett.
No, 7.
Support from Ashenford. And then Campion will work as a halfback, and then Walton gets the knock on. Walton has been very, very impressive in this second half. Literally picked up South Australia and put them on his shoulders and walked them forwards. 2 to go, I think I heard.
Crouch.
Let's say ready.
Bind. Set.
Come on, boys. Come on.
Big scrum needed from the Territory. It's not there. Blair Marshall will pick it up and go. Breakaway from the first tackle and the second. Abele will get him eventually. Oh, Abele was close to lifting him, and he did lift him.
It's all good. Take the fucking kick. 4 points. Take the point. Take the point. Take the point.
There's a discussion. Someone's saying take the point.
Yeah, points is called.
Points called. First one of the day.
Yep.
That will put it out to a very, very difficult lead for the Northern Territory to bring back in what should be the final minute and a half.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they continue on after the kick.
There's still 2 minutes to play, I think, even after this kick.
The wing is cheeky, telling the captain what option to take.
There was a number of people telling him what to do. Walton will knock that one over. 39 points to 24. Certainly, if you were to study body language, the Falcons running back into position. There's a little bit of walking going on for the men in orange, but as you've said, that's been a big weekend for them. Good restart again. Campion gets a hand off it, off the feet of Stanojevic. Knock on only, and it's a mosquito gone down. I think...
No, he's winded.
I'm not sure what... Is there anything that we can see from it? Oh, it's just a little bit of a late one. From Stanojevic, I think. It had stopped.
Ref happy to play on.
Well, yeah, I don't think anybody saw it. Ball had gone, whistle had gone. Just those little moments and little momentary lapses in concentration.
Yep. Work on that, Marcos. Yep.
He's still feeling it, I think, the number 4.
Yeah.
Let's go, Hawks. Seconds, yeah. Crouch.
No interest in coming off, though. He's going to finish off the game, you would think.
Yeah, he's tough as nails, old Parksy, the tough little emu.
Territory with a dominant scrum.
Yeah.
It's gone a fair old way. And the penalty.
Go another scrum. Come on, boys.
And probably a little bit of karma. The number 4 ends up straddling Stanojevic. Going to assert dominance. That's one way of doing it. Clean out the lineup again.
Let him go, 17. Here he comes. Here he comes. Easy ball here. Easy ball here. Hold back, Stephen. Hold back. Is that it?
No.
Another inside ball, and certainly didn't miss with the clean out. That one's come off the hands. Counter Rock will make it a South Australian ball.
Yeah, knock on there.
And that will be that.
Full time.
And the resurgence of the Black Falcons is complete. The 2018 Emerging States champions are the Black Falcons. Do not take anything away from this Northern Territory side, who've been an absolute joy to watch over the 3 days of this competition. Thank you very much for spending your time in the booth with me.
Thanks for having me.
your thoughts on the whole competition?
Yeah, it's really good. From the Territory's perspective, we always relish any opportunity to play rep rugby. There hasn't been a whole lot of opportunity for us over the past few years, so it's been really great to come down. A very taxing 4 days, 240 minutes of rugby in 4 days. It's a big ask, especially at that higher level that we were playing this week. So I think that the coaching staff for the Territory can hold their heads really high, and so can the players. And
well, representative rugby has returned to South Australia, and the Black Falcons have returned, and they start off the new history with a win, defeating the Northern Territory 39 points to 24. Ladies and gentlemen, from me, Dave Webb, and Greg Tobin, we've had a wonderful afternoon. We hope you enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are. Congratulations to the 2018 Black Falcons. Thank you very much for joining us on Rugby Union South Australia Facebook page. And again, thank you very much to Spacequake Sports, our camera operators, Dan and Carl, Murray and Debbie, and of course the man who presses all the buttons, David Muggleton. The whole Spacequake Sports family says thank you very much and good afternoon.